about this to start off your Friday, folks? Micah Parsons, the star pass rusher from the Dallas Cowboys, could be demanding a trade, according to a new report from the Athletics NFL insider Dianna Russini. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. We're going to break down the possibility of Micah Parsons potentially ending up in Seattle. How does this all affect the Seahawks? Let's go ahead and dive in and tell you more. Let's begin with this report that came out just a little while ago from Dianna Russini, who posted this on X, saying the following: breaking, the Micah Parsons-Cowboys relationship has deteriorated to the point where the star pass rusher is considering drastic measures, which could include a trade request or even a declaration that he is severing his relationship with the team, per multiple league sources familiar with the situation. The two sides remain far apart heading into the second week of training camp and are not currently negotiating. So the two things there with Parsons, the relationship issue. This really doesn't come as a surprise, because I remember reports that came out a year and a half, 2 years ago, that there was a lot of people in the building in Frisco at the Star there in Dallas that did not like Micah Parsons, and that they weren't going to be too upset if Micah Parsons ever left Dallas. And to be considering a trade request here, we know what's been going on with the Seattle Seahawks, that you had the injury to Nwosu, and prior to that, they were already considering their options at the edge rusher position, with Trey Hendrickson and T.J. Watt on the market at one point. Hendrickson, of course, still an option at this point. T.J. Watt got a new deal from the Dallas Cowboys, and so it does make you think, could this be where Seattle swoops in? They already had a decent amount of cap space, and then you release Noah Fant, so money is not an issue if they potentially want to bring in Parsons. So could Seattle be a player in all this? Let's tell you more details what's going on here between Parsons and Dallas, according to Russini. Among the key issues, Micah Parsons spoke directly with Jerry Jones over multiple days in the spring. The team believed those conversations were negotiations and then had a deal, multiple league sources said. But Parsons believed the talks were just conversations and wanted his agent to handle the negotiations. When his agent attempted to start negotiations, the Cowboys declined to engage with him and told the pass rusher that they believed they already had a deal. Now the team is refusing to engage with Parsons' agent at all, creating a tense standoff amid increasing friction. Now, this is typical Dallas Cowboy behavior. We saw what they went through with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, and now they're doing it all over again with Micah Parsons. Now, with those two, they did end up getting deals done, but they ended up spending more money than they needed to because they didn't take care of it earlier. And we've already seen T.J. Watt get paid. Myles Garrett got paid. Trey Hendrickson's going to get paid here pretty soon. Don't know if it's going to be by Cincinnati, but by somebody. If the Cowboys end up keeping Micah, it's going to cost them more money had they not done this earlier. Jerry Jones always finds ways to screw things up. When it comes to the business side outside of football and how the Cowboys market themselves, they're the very best in the league. But the football operation itself, they operate like the Cincinnati Bengals. And that might be disrespectful to the Cincinnati Bengals, who went to the Super Bowl just a few years ago. Now, if you're Seattle here, you can pounce on this. If this is a direction you want to go, this is a great opportunity. When you look at the pass rushers that have been on the market over the last several months, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Trey Hendrickson, this is the big fish of all of them. Not saying he's better than any of those three, but he's the youngest of those three and has the highest ceiling and the most potential. There's the most long-term investment potential outlook that he offers that the others don't have. And it's very intriguing. We'll look into the possibility of trading for Micah Parsons and break him all down coming up in a moment. But first, your chance to beat John Schneider here on Seahawks Today. Should the Seahawks trade for Micah Parsons? T for trade, P for pass. I got a trade idea I'm going to show you here in a bit, but want to hear from you guys first. Weigh in and let us know. When NFL news breaks that could impact Seattle, we bring you a video here on the channel. As we continue to bring you our daily news and rumors, we have live shows 3 days a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays here on the channel. We're doing our Madden Sims. We're covering all things training camp. We're going to do a watch party next week for the first preseason game as well. This is your one-stop shop for all things Seattle Seahawks. We are closing in on 68,500 subscribers on the channel. The only thing missing is you. Subscribe now for free. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. You'll be glad you did. Now, the next question becomes, okay, Tyler, how likely is it that Seattle makes a trade for Micah Parsons? We're still a little ways from that point, but this is a good first step in the process. There is a greater than zero chance, okay, that Micah Parsons could end up in Seattle. And then the next question becomes, okay, if you trade for Micah, what does he mean to this defense? I think it could change everything for Seattle. I think on paper right now, this defense is somewhere between top 5 and top 8, which is significantly better than what it was a year and a half, 2 years ago. We saw this team turn a corner with the addition of Ernest Jones. You bring in Micah Parsons, I think we're talking about all of a sudden the Seahawks can have the very best defense in the National Football League. I'm dead serious when I say that. I'm not joking. I'm not shitting you here, folks. I mean, that would be the significant jump that Micah Parsons could bring. And you look at what Micah's done in the National Football League. 2-time first-team All-Pro, second-team All-Pro in 2023, 4-time Pro Bowler, NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. He has been so good over the years, and really just from the jump, folks. I mean, he's been consistent. You look at 13 sacks in 2021, 13 and a half in 2022, 14 in 2023, 12 in 2024, and that's with playing 13 games compared to those other seasons. I think Micah Parsons, you look at these edge rushers, and the ones that usually are averaging 13, 14, 12 sacks a year, when they really start to hit their prime years, remember, Micah's still on the rookie contract, all right? He's still very young at this point. They take that next step up and go to that 19, 20, 21 tier, like we saw what happened with T.J. Watt and with Trey Hendrickson. I think that Micah still has that next jump ahead. This would be a lot of fun to have Micah Parsons in Seattle, potentially speaking. And if the numbers weren't good enough for you and you need some nerd statistics, we brought those too. Pro Football Focus with the grades. And, this just screams sports boner, folks. I mean, you look at this. A defensive grade of a 90, run defense grade 65.5, tackling grade 61, pass rush grade of 91.6, coverage grade of 76.9. You pair him with his old teammate DeMarcus Lawrence as well. Ooh. I get excited. You get the juices flowing. But as these things do, it comes at a cost, and this would be pricey. It would be more expensive to trade for Micah Parsons than any of the other guys that we've mentioned in the past because of the youth, because he's just starting to enter his prime years. Let's start with the contract numbers. Micah Parsons is going to command about a 4-year, $172 million deal, which will pay him $43 million a year, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in the National Football League. All right? That's not cheap. Seattle does have the money for that. He would play his final year of his current contract, where that fits within the salary cap, and then the years to come would fit into the future salary caps as Seattle has cleaned things up and positioned themselves in a good spot. But that's not all. Here is what you're looking at trade-wise. It's a lot. It's going to take at least 2 first-round picks. And I know that when we talk big trades, people get nervous because you have flashbacks to the Jamal Adams trade and how much that set this franchise back. Micah Parsons is not Jamal Adams, for starters here. But this is 2 first-round picks into your future and a team that has drafted really well as of late. That's a lot. Even for Micah Parsons, that is a lot for Seattle to potentially give up here. So, be honest with me, folks. Is Micah Parsons worth giving up 2 first-round picks? And that's not even all. You have to throw in a third in there, too. Why for yes, in for no? Tell us in the comments section if you think he's worth it or not. Got an insane deal we're offering Seahawks fans right now. This Seahawks cutoff hoodie at one point in time was $55. But we worked our magic, and now it's on sale for $33. Chatsports.com/Seahawks sale. All sorts of different shapes and sizes available to your liking, my friends. Chatsports.com/Seahawks sale to get yours today, along with other Seahawks merchandise as well at that same link. Go see for yourself now. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/Seahawks sale. Some parting shots here before we put a bow on this. Adding Parsons to this team would solidify the Seahawks as the best defense in the National Football League. And with the young players we're talking about here, with Devin Witherspoon, with Ernest Jones, Rick Woolen, Byron Murphy, the list goes on, they would be set for many years to come on that side of the ball. Seahawks need edge rusher help. That's no secret, all right? Uchenna's out, and we don't know how well DeMarcus Lawrence is going to stay healthy. Boye and Derek Hall have had their moments, but have been up and down. They can pay the money to do this. They have about $35 million in cap space at this point in time, so they can pay him his contract for this final year for now and then pay him into the future. But speaking of the future, can you mortgage the future on Micah Parsons? I lean towards no, because that is just so much when it comes to trade and when it comes to money. But I'm open to this discussion. I am all ears on this possibility and continue to monitor this and see what's going on in Dallas. And we'll see where things go from here. For more Seahawks coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.